All right, good morning, everyone. So we have many of our people on Zoom today, and we have two in the classroom, although you can only see one of them. And so most of us are here in person. All right, very good. So I am delighted today to have a speaker to come and to talk with you more about this idea of digital advertising and SEO, which I know so many of you had questions on as we were working with it earlier. And so today I'd like to introduce to you Jennifer Sargeant, who has her own firm, Digital Sargeant. She's out of Florida, and we became acquainted in a Facebook group for females in digital media and social media. It's FIDSM, whatever that's, females in digital and social media, I think is what it is. But it's a group where I met a lot of wonderful professionals, a number who spoke to innovation and social media. But I'm really glad that Jennifer can come here and talk to you about this area of the field. So I am going to turn it over to Jennifer.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to meet you. I'm going to try to share my screen with you so that way you can see all of the things that I'm about to show you in this presentation here. Let's get it started. All right. So I have to say that I'm super excited to be talking to a group of people who are eager and excited to learn about digital marketing. Digital marketing is a career that has been very abundant for me. It has opened so many doors for me, and I just kind of like nerd out about it when I hear that other people are also excited about digital marketing too. So a little bit about me. I've been in the digital marketing industry for like nearly 10 years, since 2010. And I invite you to learn more about me. You can go to my website, digitalsargeant.com, or you can Google me, Jennifer Sargeant. My website better come up number one, regardless. And on the contact tab, you can click on portfolio and you can learn more about me and my history and all of that jazz. But long story short, I have worked for an agency for many years, working predominantly in the local business realm before I moved to the national division, and I'm currently the Chief Digital Marketing Officer for a law firm here in Florida. And I also started my agency, Digital Sargeant, because of our elephant in the room, COVID. So that is why I started Digital Sargeant. So I don't know if you have seen the Queens Gambit on Netflix. If you have not, I 10 out of 10 recommend it. But I started watching the show and I instantly became obsessed with chess and really started to think about chess and digital marketing, and they're actually more in common than what we might think. So in chess, the main goal is to capture the king, right? That's the entire point of the game. In digital marketing, the main goal is to capture attention. That is the number one thing that you want to do when it comes to digital marketing. Attention is the currency at hand here. So in the world of chess, they have different types of sequences and openings and all sorts of different moves that you can do to win and to beat your opponent. So there's something called the Dutch defense, for example, the prick defense, and of course the Queen's Gambit. So today I'm going to give you 3 strategies to help you dominate locally for either yourself, if you're building your own portfolio, internships, businesses you manage, and all of that jazz. So the first strategy is search engine optimization. And to be totally honest with you, SEO is my native language when it comes to the world of digital marketing. This is the very first thing that I learned in digital marketing, and it has treated me extremely well. So in SEO, there are things called page title tags, meta descriptions, on-page content. So what on earth does all of this mean, and why should we care? Well, what you'll see here is a screenshot. I think my camera view is blocking it, but anyways, what you see here is a screenshot, and you will see Digital Sargeant at the top. Let's see if I can move that. I don't think I can. You can't see the page title tags. Well, anyways, underneath that, you will see latest trends, my story, contact, digital marketing service, local business owners. These are called title tags, and in the world of SEO, there are all of these little things that you can do to help you rank on the first page of Google, and they all add up to be this massive puzzle so that you dominate for branded and non-branded keywords. So non-branded keywords would be something like digital marketing services near me. Branded keywords would be something like Jennifer Sargeant, digital Sargeant, something directly related to my brand. So taking into consideration page title tags and making sure that they are strategically placed with branded and non-branded keywords will help your business rank better. So what you see underneath the title tag is something called a meta description. And this is basically a quick blurb that gives the user more information and will help CTR, something called click-through rate. But when it comes to SEO, meta descriptions and page title tags are gold, and they really help businesses rank well. So I'm going to give you a little bonus tip. And this is something that a lot of people overlook, but when it comes to ranking in the map pack, which I'm going to get to in a second, you can do a couple of things to really make sure you rank there, but a lot of people overlook URL slugs and naming URLs that are very strategic and savvy with SEO. So as you can see here, the search term is digital marketing for local businesses near me. I'm searching in Claremont. What you search for in your location will be significantly different, but in Claremont, Florida, this is what you get. You will see that my business ranks number 3 in the map pack, which is fine, I'll take it. And it ranks number 1 on Google directly underneath the map pack. And that has a lot to do with my strong title tags, a strong meta description, and a strong URL slug, which you can see here, Claremont, Florida, digital marketing services. And I get a lot of traffic to my website, and a lot of it comes from organic SEO, organic search engine optimization. So no paid advertisement on my end at this moment with Google Ads. And as you can see here, these are some metrics that I pulled up last week whenever I was preparing for this time with you. I have 79% organic search volume and 2.8 thousand viewers on my site this past month, and largely due to search engine optimization. So let's just say I've been busy cranking out content. Second strategy that I would like to share with you is building trust in citations and reviews. So citations are essentially like the yellow pages on the internet. So anything like your Google listing is a citation, Yelp, MapQuest, anything like that that's like a directory, like an online directory, is very important for local and brick and mortar businesses. Having great citations on your website great citations for your business whenever somebody searches branded keywords and they see a nice list of citations, it helps build credibility for the business. And then of course, once you combine that effort with reviews, then things really start looking well. So here is a company that I work with. It is a moonshine distillery. Yes, you heard that correctly, a moonshine distillery. It's pretty crazy and a lot of fun to work with them. But you will see here their citations. You'll see their Facebook page has outstanding reviews, and then you will also see TripAdvisor. They have outstanding reviews, and their Google My Business listing. And while I'm on this page, I'm going to give you another bonus. In the world of search engine optimization, there's something called schema markup, and there are a couple variations. It could be product markup, review markup, and what you see here actually is something called schema markup, where you can see the reviews and the ratings. So those little stars that you see underneath there, that is part of schema markup for reviews. And you can actually add this to your website as well. So the third strategy that I would like to share with you is social media. And I'm pretty sure everybody in this class loves social media. But when it comes to social media, there are so many options to choose from, like way too many. So I like to break it down to the choose 3 formula. And here's what it looks like. You choose a platform for awareness. You choose a platform for search engine optimization. You choose a platform for comfort. So let me break this down. What you'll see here is you'll see my video ranking on TikTok. I'm at the top left corner, the bottom left, and the bottom right. And this is for hashtag Claremont, Florida, where I live, because my goal is to dominate locally. So I use TikTok as awareness. It has been a great awareness tool for me, an outstanding lead generator too, let me just add. The second platform I choose for search engine optimization is YouTube. YouTube has been very good to me. I get hundreds of reviews a day just on YouTube using search engine optimization. Another platform that you can use for search engine optimization for social media is Pinterest. Pinterest is an outstanding and often overlooked platform for SEO as well. And then what you'll see here is Instagram, because maybe like you, I feel comfortable posting on Instagram. Instagram is a beast to grow and to manage for a business, but you'll see here that I'm ranking for Claremont, Florida. You will see my reel in the top left-hand corner here on the popular page. So if you're not posting reels yet, I really hope you get on it, because reels are gold for organic reach, especially right now with the hashtag dilemma going on Instagram due to this very colorful election. So I would like to share with you a case study. Again, this is Yalaha Bootlegging Company, the moonshine distillery that I worked with. So I've been working with them since 2017, and I've increased their site traffic growth by 929%, which is amazing. And this is all from search engine optimization, really taking into consideration things that people are searching for, their buyers, their buyer persona. And one of their top ranking pages is actually a blog post titled, "Is it legal to make moonshine in Florida?" And it gets a lot of traction to their website. The second metric you see here is the traffic to their Google My Business listing, which we just showed in a couple of slides ago. As you can see here, in 2017, they had 684 views, but in December 2019, 6,143 views. Every single month, I do a report for them and I share it with them, and they are consistently in the 6,000, 5,000, 7,000 metric, even in slow seasons. This is really good for them. 798% increase, again, using search engine optimization tactics and leveraging Google My Business. And the last metric I'd like to share with you is a Facebook page growth using a combination of organic social media marketing strategies and low budget but powerful marketing advertising. 2017, they had 2,000 followers. In 2020, they have 4,635 with a 129% increase. And actually, this metric is incorrect. I believe they have close to 6,000 likes now. So they are really growing tremendously. And when it comes to paid advertising on social media, for them during COVID, I actually launched an ad. It was $30 on Facebook, $30 on Instagram, and this very low budget but concise and niche down ad generated thousands of dollars for this little business during COVID when everything was shutting down, and it generated massive press. They were in the local news everywhere, and all because of a strategic, savvy, and very smart ad. So I would like to share with you a career highlight. So as I mentioned, I work for a law firm currently, and I also have Digital Sargeant. But this is a concert that I had the honor of spearheading and promoting. This concert was a free concert featuring Pitbull, DJ Vice, and Nacho, and it was to honor a police officer who was recently injured in the line of duty. This was June of 2019. This campaign was a ton of fun to manage. I managed outdoor, so billboard, TV, all digital from the landing page to launching ads. Before I came on to join this team, they only launched ads on Facebook, but due to my savvy campaign skills, I launched campaigns on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Snapchat surprisingly performed very well for us in the first 24 hours, 12 cents per impression, 12 cents per result, over 100,000 impressions in the first 24 hours. And the turnout here for this concert was record breaking. It was totally off the chart. I had a 6-figure campaign that I managed and reached 14 million people within the duration of this campaign. It was a lot of fun. Yes, I met Pitbull, and it was an extremely long day. And sometimes I'm still recovering from it. And another question I get asked often is, what is the best advice for anybody that is new to the digital marketing space? And what you can kind of see here is actually a Google My Business listing that is marked permanently closed. So depending on the market that you're working in, Google My Business can be an absolute beast and very difficult to tame and to manage. And unfortunately, this client was a product of Friendly Fire, and their Google My Business listing literally vanished in the blink of an eye. So I had to walk into my boss's office and explain to him that the Google My Business listing has vanished. All of his reviews are gone. According to the user, his firm, his law firm does not exist. and we need to get him back on the first page of Google immediately. So the biggest piece of advice that I can give you is that whenever there's a problem, make sure you are the one that brings it to whoever's in charge, your manager, your boss, CEO, whoever, and bring them the problem, but more importantly, bring them multiple solutions that they can choose from. So that way we can get strategic and savvy and start solving the problem immediately. So I know I ran through this really quickly, and I'm sure there's a couple of questions, but I created a checklist I would like to share with you. I've given it to the professor, so hopefully she will share it with you soon. I'm sure she will. But it talks about buyer persona development, Google My Business, search engine optimization, social media marketing. It's a fun little checklist for you. And I invite you to connect with me on all social media. I'm Digital Sargeant everywhere, including on TikTok, which they don't have an icon yet for WordPress, but definitely on TikTok as well. And if you have any questions about how to break into the industry, if you'd like for me to look over your portfolio, your website, your, whatever it is, I'd be more than happy to help you in any way, shape, or form. So I know I'm a really fast talker and I just ran through this and there might be a couple of questions here, but thank you so much for listening to me and for having me be here today.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's wonderful. A lot of good information there. And I think seeing with your own business and then also with your client, all those gains that you've been able to make. And so important to be first in the organic search results or to be one of the first. That's amazing. So the students have been playing around with a simulation this semester as if they were doing digital marketing for a camera company. So they've been kind of practicing a little bit of this, and they sometimes ask me questions, and I give some answers, but I think that I would love to see if some of them would like to ask you questions that have come up from the digital marketing. So class, feel free to unmic or to type in the chat, and let's get some questions. And for those in the classroom, you can unmute the classroom mic to say something.
How long did it take you to really get the hang of things, like to where you knew exactly what you were doing and knew what you were doing worked?
That's a really good question. I think just over time, repetition and repeating the same thing and getting really great results each time. But I was my own best case study. So whenever I was in your exact position, sitting in your exact seat in college, I knew that I needed to separate myself. So I created a blog post, I created a Twitter account, I created a LinkedIn profile, and I hit the pavement hard, applying every single thing that I learned to myself as my own business at the time. And because of that repetition and staying curious and asking questions and always troubleshooting, within time, everything just became very natural. My confidence regarding situations just flew through the roof.
Other questions?
I see something in the chat here.
What is the best strategy for choosing keywords on Google?
Ooh, this is a fun one. So there is a tool called the Google Keyword Planner tool. It is free. You just have to create a Google Ads account. You may have to add a credit card, but if you're not running a campaign, then no worries. But the Google Keyword Planner tool will give you a really good volume of competition. So if something is really high in competition, that means your cost per click may be low. And then it also gives you a lot of keywords to choose from that could be similar to the one that you searched for. Another really great tool is a plugin called Keywords Everywhere. It is a Chrome extension and I live by it. I use it pretty much every day. And another really great tool is called TubeBuddy. It is a great tool for YouTube, and as we know, YouTube and Google are pretty much one and the same. So it gives you really great search volume and metrics on TubeBuddy as well. I use all three every single day.
That's great. Good. Good. Other questions?
When you said building trust through citations, what exactly are the citations?
Yeah, so citations are basically just directory listings online. So Yelp, for example, is a citation and it mentions your business. MapQuest still exists and it is also considered a citation. There's also something called citation aggregators, which sounds complicated, but basically all it does is you import the NAP, which is name, address, and phone number of a brick and mortar establishment, and then it aggregates it or disperses it to other citations. And that's how you get on like Hot Frog or I think one's called like Brown Fox. Like there's like some random ones, but basically these citations will help with local search efforts as well. So whenever anybody searches your business, if it's branded keywords, they'll get consistent information regarding the address and phone number. And a good tool to look into is by Moz Local, M-O-Z Local. They have a citation aggregator. I think it's like $99, but you can, I mentioned that because you can check them out and learn a little bit more about citations. And just for clarity, citations are mostly for brick and mortar locations. So me, for example, Digital Sargeant, I don't have a whole lot of citations because it's my home address and I don't really want people showing up in my house. So I hide my address in Google Maps, but there are also other directory citations that I can look into and other partnerships that you can look into as well. So it really just boils down to your niche that you're representing. For example, the wedding industry has a ton of great citations that you can join, like the Knot or local like wedding, photography listings and things like that.
Okay, great. We have a question that came in a chat that you can't see. How did you first reach out to clients to begin building your business, and how did you establish a portfolio and build trust?
Okay, so the first question is, how did I get clients? So for Digital Sargeant, I have been extremely fortunate. I have not done any outbound efforts whatsoever. So I have not reached out to businesses and said, hey, can I help you? They have all come to me, and I have leveraged all of these social media tools and search engine optimization tactics that I shared with you today. My best lead generator, believe it or not, is TikTok, which is insane. I just closed a 5-figure deal on TikTok alone, working with another agency, helping them with Facebook and Instagram ads. I just hit the $1 million mark. I've managed $1 million in ad spend as of like last week. So being able to share those points and credibility and just replicating all the information that I know and sharing it with, the internet and whoever wants to listen, ears perk up and I meet the right business owners. So that's how I was able to get clients. The second question, I believe, was about establishing a portfolio for myself. So I really leveraged LinkedIn in the beginning of my career, and I talked about every single project I was a part of, and I just conveyed every single thing from my role of the project. I gave deliverables like PDFs and things like that. Every single thing that I touched, whether it was in class, whether it was volunteering, whether it was for the restaurant I worked for, I leveraged it and maximized it for my credential abilities. I placed it on LinkedIn in the beginning. I then created a free website using WordPress, like a free blog. I also leveraged it on there. And then I eventually grew into my website where I also leveraged, my portfolio and the things I've done over the years there. And I think there was a third question. I might have forgotten it.
I think you answered it because it was, how did you build trust?
Oh, build trust. So I asked for reviews for my own business, Digital Sargeant. You can search it and you'll see 13 reviews there. So every single client that I work with, I ask them for reviews. Of course, if it's a good fit, I have worked with clients before with Digital Sargeant. It's not a good fit. I did not ask them for a review because that would be setting myself up for failure. And those things happen. So really just being confident in the space and what I can do and my skills, and also giving like building trust elements such as showing metrics, showing stats, and talking to as many people as possible.
And I had a question for you. So this would be about on social media. There's one of the things when I teach the social media class, we talk about give more than you can take. You know, that you try to provide more value than you're taking from the people that you're trying to reach. And I think that's something you've done pretty well, because on like in the Facebook groups and whatnot, you're often providing links to a handout or a video that gives free information, kind of free training, but it's also a funnel into a program you do where you offer, I think, paid for training as well, right?
Mhm.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so whenever I started building Digital Sargeant, I went into Facebook groups and I paid very close attention to the questions that people were asking. I then built content around those questions. So for example, somebody would ask a question and I'd be like, cool, yeah, I can answer that. I'm in the corner answering on my website, putting together a great blog post, and then I share that information with them. And I share information for free, and a lot of times I don't even ask for their email address. There is only one form where I ask for somebody's email address, and that is for a Facebook ads download guide, because that is a very complex topic. So I would like to talk with that person after they downloaded the guide. But other than that, all my information is so free, I don't even need your email address. So that's one thing that I've done, and it really helped build trust as well. And then you talked about the funnel as well. So, I mean, really, I think in this day and age, people are really hesitant to, give up some information. So by me providing so much free information and being able to strategically create those pages where there's this free piece of information. So maybe you enter on my blog post and then it leads you to another piece of great information. And then it leads you to a contact page. And by this time in the funnel, they're ready to make contact with me and ask me a question.
Okay, that's great. All right, other questions from you guys? Let me just check the chat. I haven't pulled that up for a little while, but that might be okay. That's all the questions that I had in the chat. Anything else that you guys wanted to know? Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming to speak with our class. We really appreciate you being with us and sharing your information and knowledge.
Thank you. I'm so happy to meet you guys. I wish you nothing but success in your career. And like I said, if you ever need anything, you know where to find me. So I hope to meet you guys more one-on-one.